And we got Bananas in chat from Hamstap85, Humbly Be Surprised, Tolpa Spangleboo, Roman Empire II, and the names are off the screen because there are so many bananas. My goodness me, a lot of you are here excited for today's live stream. How's everyone doing? I have had a day where I've recorded a portion of an episode and then decided to scrap the entire thing. And it makes the day feel like lost or unproductive. And soon peeps, soon it'll be Christmas. Oh dear. Oh, that time, it does fly by. Let's hop into the Nether and head over to where we're going to be working today. We're going to start off in the Concorp studio. I got a really great suggestion in the comments of my video, which went out earlier today. So if you're watching on the second channel later on, if you didn't know and you're watching live here on Twitch, episode of Hermitcraft went out today. Which way is it to the Concorp? It's over here wait, no, Pirate District. Yes, Pirate District, that one. We need some more banners. In fact, don't we have pirate banners that I can put in this area? Maybe that's something else we do. Maybe that's something else we do this stream. Wait a minute. Yes, Icy Poor Lover has thrown some cheers and bits while I wasn't streaming. I didn't know you could do that. And the question doesn't make any sense either. So, Icy Poor Lover, if you're watching, thank you for the cheers and the bits. I had no idea you could do that when someone wasn't streaming. We also got J Benny K. Oh jeez, this is a name. J Benny Keiro 17, subscribe with Amazon Prime. That was probably a butchered name right there, if I've ever heard one. Also, Professor Dr. Pug is here for 21 months. Professor, thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it. Hope you are enjoying the stream today, having a good time, hanging out with us and all that. So there is something that I wanted to do here. I want to do a little experiment first of all, before we get too carried away with this idea. We need some power, and we need a minecart. And immediately we're going to create some chest monsters. That's the way it goes. That is the way it goes. So today, peeps, Article 15 was voted in the European Parliament. Now, the way that they do things over there, if I understand correctly, it means that it's not actually a law yet. It's a law that needs to be written. So no one really knows quite what's going to happen. Okay, I just wanted to check that that would work normally, so that's good. So a lot of people are talking about, stressing out about, getting worried about Article 13. I should be one of those people, okay? Because this might be the end of my YouTube career. Okay, but at the same time, apparently they've changed something inside the legislation that may actually make it not as bad, and they've still got to write it into law, and there's going to be a lot of upheaval about it. I would say make your voice heard, online, if you feel like doing that. And let's wait and see what happens, because I could get all panicked and worked up about it, but I have very little control over the situation, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. It's 2 years until it will go into law. Let's see what happens in that time. There will obviously be protests, there will be a lot of discussion and movements and whatnot, and we won't know until later exactly what it means. It could be really bad. It could actually not be as bad as we thought. I just don't know right now, so I'm not going to get worked up about it, basically, is my feeling on the whole thing. And if you're unaware, ignorant to what Article 13 is, I'm sure you're going to hear a lot about it in the coming days. So yeah, keep your ear to the ground and look at the news if you're interested in that, I guess I could say. I'm going to change that rail right there. Some of y'all are thinking, he hasn't even said what he's doing yet, and he's just coming in here, streaming Hermitcraft, making changes. I'm making changes, peeps. Oh, I'm making those changes. We've got a noise in the ear from Parmisa, who is subscribed with Amazon Prime. Hyperfusion is subscribing with Amazon Prime. And Betsy is resubscribed for 3 months in a row, saying, hey, I can't stay for the live stream, but I wanted to celebrate 3 months. I'll catch us on YouTube. Later out. Peace. See you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in, man. See you on the second channel in the future. Article 13 is stupid, says With O'Brien in capital letters. I think it's really important that we talk about things and articulate things, right? I've seen a lot of statements like this going around. People saying, Article 13's rubbish. It's passed by people who don't understand the internet and all of this. Now, first of all, like, I'm becoming obsessed with this. Like, this articulation, this level of detail that exists in the world around us and how we interact with it. Like, in order for you to make a statement about these politicians, right? First of all, can you name the politicians who are in this government that are stupid and don't know what they're doing? How would you define their ignorance to the internet? Would they have to pass some sort of quiz? What questions would be in that quiz? How do you define a collective of people and what their level of knowledge to a certain topic is? How would we define that? You know, it might be that they are actually well educated on what's happening and perhaps have an entirely different view on how the internet should work, and perhaps they know what this legislation does and that's what they want. I just think we should avoid having kind of rash emotional discussions about Article 13 and try and have perhaps more productive ones, because I think tweeting someone who's voted for this article with like, you suck, you're rubbish, we hate you, you want to destroy the internet, they're not going to go, oh god, I'm an idiot. Oh, of course, Article 13 legislation, I'm an idiot. How did I not know that? We need to promote actually understanding and discussing a little bit more. Like, as someone who would be completely ignorant to who on earth is in Parliament. I mean, I even looked up at one point the constituents that represent my area in the EU, what their names was and what they stood for on Article 13, and I emailed the ones that were opposed to it. Turns out one of them had actually changed camp already and said that nope, they were opposed. But I can't remember their names. It's one of the things about politics. It's boring. I can't remember their names. I don't know who they are now. You know, like so anyway, like there's not much point me waffling on about them because I don't really know the deal. If that makes sense. Not sure where I was going with that. I kind of lost my own train of thought. I think what I'm trying to say is that I have even participated a little bit in this process of getting in touch with representatives, and I still feel entirely ignorant to who it is that voted for or against it. But anyway, we should be having much more productive discussions rather than shouting, "This is stupid." Like, that doesn't do anything. Like, has anyone ever said to you, "This is stupid, you're an idiot," and your response been, "Oh yeah, you're completely right, mate"? It just doesn't happen. People don't respond to, you know, being shouted at in capital letters. By the way, I'm not singling someone out for their message in chat, right? Like, I'm sure you don't mean it in a mean way or anything like that. I just trying to say, the way we've got to communicate about this is by having the proper discussion. If someone's got the power to vote on Article 13, we don't want them seeing capital letters, "This is stupid," because it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything to them. You know, we need to put across constructive points and constructive criticism and get to, you know, the real discussion. Instead of fence, use birch slabs. Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. You know, you just made me realise that we could have fence gates here that unlock. Or get locked. Oh, and that would be functional, but this looks so good. Oh, imagine that. This would be... Actually, I think we don't need to worry about what's easier or not to wire. But this... If this were fence gates here and then they opened, I mean, we'd have to take away our lovely little detail. But would it be better? Because it would be so much more functional. Right? Like, it's open until someone comes by on a minecart, is what I'm thinking. Then they shut. What do you think in chat, peeps? Should we have blocks that push up or fence gates? Fence gates would mean removing all of this. I think we'll just stick with what we got, because I've already done some of it, and we'd end up going down a rabbit hole of umming and ahhing. Iron trapdoors that flip up, says Stomp. Now, the iron trapdoors would look pretty industrial, wouldn't they? Yeah, that might be like a good compromise. A bit of both, you know? Because the trapdoors can easily be walked over, so... Iron is over here. Yeah, there it is. We got noises in the ear from Emerald Rain, resubscribing for 15 months, saying thanks for giving us the most thoughtful of all gifts, your time. Thank you for the lovely message. I truly appreciate it. I I'm very much happy to stream with all of y'all, you know. This is my passion right here, you know. And I'm trying to not get upset about it with that Article 13 looming, as I said. Don't even know what's going to happen yet. Need to be patient, need to not run off with the idea of it's all doom and gloom. So I think what we'll do is we'll have them flip up closer to that side, so they're not too close to the player riding the rail. That actually kind of looks alright as well. I think we can get away with this. Okay, so now we know that those granite blocks are in need of power. Now, the age-old thing is that you want to avoid repeaters, right? But you have to, when you want to power something vertically, it's always torches. Ah, yes. Okay, that trick doesn't work. We have to be high enough. Okay, I can live with that. And it doesn't really matter if it's on or off, because we will change that. Spokey Dokey is here for 12 months. Goldie Face in chat saying 12 months. Love your derpy streams and videos, X. Keep up the great work. Now hang on a minute. The videos ain't derpy. It's just the streams, right? Appreciate you. Thank you for your 12 months of support. What's Article 13? Says KH4Lip. KH4Lip, lucky for you, you are on the wonderful world of the interwebs, and there is a website called Google. Just go over there, you'll be amazed. Type in Article 13, and you're not going to believe what's going to happen, okay? It's going to tell you about what it is. Genius! Whoever came up with that, eh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Google, question mark, says Jeff's K. Google? What's a Google? What is a Google? It's been rumoured to Article 17, but now 13 should still get to it. I had not heard of Article 17. I know 11 is the other one alongside 13. 11's the link tax, which it sounds like such a strange idea. I'd love to know the reasoning behind these changes. You know, we are, as individuals, as people with opinions about things, we are all in what are called information silos, okay? When we have an opinion about something, and when we hear someone else's opinion, we tend to think or assume that we sort of have the same information at hand. But people have different information at hand. And I want to know what kind of information they had that made them thought a link tax was a good idea, how it would work, because, you know, to my ignorant little soul, it just sort of sounds like a great way to kind of close off, I guess. Kind of, I don't know, my gut instinct to the reaction of that is like, if you're going to tax links, you're going to, you know, destroy the connectivity of the web because you're putting a price barrier of entry onto it, and that's going to force out the smaller operations, if you're, or individuals or companies online. Maybe that's what they want. You know, the EU. I have, you know, lived in the EU and had work taken away from me as the direct consequence of European legislation guised as protecting workers' rights when it was actually an attack on workers' rights. And so I am, like, deeply untrusting of the EU, and I, like, as much as Brexit is horrible, I still think I want to leave the European Union, and I don't want anything to do with it. But that's not because I don't want to be part of a socially united Europe, it's because I don't think they stand for my interests or any workers' interest at the end of the day. And so, yeah, I like, when I see something like these things that they're imposing, they seem so business-oriented because they put such a price barrier in front of what you're trying to do, you know, these upload filters and fines. It just shuts out the open access of any old person being able to do something on the internet. It means you have to have money and wealth behind it, and that's going to lead to control. Thamso says, I support a socially united Europe, just not on the current government. That's probably how I would feel. And again, you know, just based on what I've experienced, just based on the information I've been siloed into, right? They just need to make a final choice, says Thylusion. Yeah, it's, you know, with all the no choicing, all this kind of like not being able to make up your mind, you know, indecision can be the worst option sometimes, right? We got more noises in the air. So many I could barely keep up, peeps. Plus I got a hot cup of tea and it's 15 minutes in. It's time to read noises in the air and sip tea. Anicia is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Anicia, thank you ever so much for your Prime subscription. I appreciate your support. I hope you're enjoying the stream. We have Darth Ninja 18, who's resubscribing for 9 months in a row. It's a Twitch baby, saying, 9 months, does that mean it's a Twitch baby? I didn't even know I was. Wow, love the vids and the laughs. Glad you're enjoying the videos and those little laughs, those little giggles that we have together. Appreciate you, Darth Ninja. Jimmy 2901 has subscribed. That should have another number after it. I don't know why it's not there, Jimmy, but thank you for your continued support over the years. Stevie J 1397 is here for 6 months. Thank you, Stevie J. Appreciate it. Average Martin is here, resubscribing for 9 months, saying Baby X is here. Also, is there any of that beautiful tea slurpage today? Delicious hot tea going into my belly. Yes, there is Average Martin. Glad you enjoyed the slurping of the tea, because I like to slurp my tea, you know. We got Martin Cook and Tronman63304 subscribing with the Amazon Prime. Thank you for the Prime subscriptions, peeps. I appreciate it ever so much. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. We've got a noise in here from Surprise Tolpa, who's here with a donation, saying, governments can get away with raising the retirement age without any consequences. That's something that affects everyone very badly. That's why I'd not expect people's voices to make a difference regarding Article 13. Whew. Looks like we're going into discussion mode right now. Surprise Tolba, thank you ever so much for your support. It's appreciated, I'm sure you know that. Yeah, I think what you're saying is touching on something. A lot of the time with voting and participating in government, so much stuff feels like it falls on deaf ears, or, you know, when was the last time you can remember some government making a good decision, right? Something that benefited us all. Those news stories probably get buried under, you know, all the outrage and anger that there is online. You know, the good news usually tends to fall wayside, so you don't really hear about the good news. I'm sure they do some good things, but yeah, raising the retirement age, I mean, there are reasons for them doing that, but all it translates to is that the little guy picking up the buck, right? Picking up the bill, time and time again. You know, while these big corporations like Google and Amazon don't pay any tax, yet they operate in our countries and use our services and public infrastructure, and you know, they don't contribute and the retirement age goes up. It all just feels wonky, doesn't it? Trapdoors are on the wrong side. We can fix that, don't worry. Don't you worry about it, is what I say. Okay, is that enough to finish off our little project here? I hope so. Surprise Tolba says, assume it. If governments want to push deliberately malicious decisions, they will push it, and nothing can really stop them. Maybe. Maybe. I mean, like, we were talking about this in our Discord server earlier. We had a little bit of a political discussion. And, you know, like, again, it's the whole emotional statement thing. Someone was saying that they feel like, you know, governments are just in it for themselves and politicians are career politicians, and it ain't quite like that. There are probably people, you know, that aren't in it just for the money, and there are probably people in governments that don't want to make these malicious decisions, right? Because imagine if you could explore the contents of every politician's soul, and you had the know-how to put them on a scale of how corrupt or how actually invested they are in the things they're supposed to do as a representative, right? So many people are going to end up on different ends of the scale. The thing is, when bad stuff happens in government, like, that's when we perk up. That's when we're like, hang on a minute, this isn't right. And then we can look at the whole thing like it's like that. X, give a listen to 10 years if you haven't. I think you'd appreciate the music, says Inovev. If ever you want to suggest music, just tweet it at me. Rono says, I hear you about Amazon X. They have been in so many petitions in America to try and have Amazon follow proper taxing here. And likely it will happen, but I've honestly jumped off the Amazon bandwagon at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's so convenient to use Amazon. I haven't really thought of participating in any kind of boycott, and it's usually something I try and do. I never thought about it with Amazon. Maybe next time I'll try and shop somewhere else first. One thing I know that Amazon do is that they actually compete in states. They have this practice. It's very clever. It's very manipulative, right? They're like, oh, we're going to go open this new Amazon warehouse, and we want to build it somewhere in the States, but they're not going to tell you where in the States they're going to build it. And then what you have is a bunch of different areas that want to compete for the jobs that Amazon are going to bring in. So then you have them getting tax breaks and all sorts of perks offered up in order to give Amazon, or to get Amazon into your region, right? So that the representatives can buy favour with the people that voted them in, because they're doing what they said they would and getting people work, right? Bringing Amazon to town. And yet it creates a competition, so they all try and offer up cheaper and cheaper perks to bring Amazon into town, right? You know, oh, we'll give you this much startup money to build here and bring in jobs, and they don't pay taxes while they do it. So we're going to need a pulse lengthener in here, I think. Actually, do you know what? It'll only be from one side, because it would be like a one-directional thing. Huh, didn't think of that. So let's just do that for now. So I think I don't know if we're on the left or the right side with this project, to be fair. I'm probably not going to finish the redstone right now, because we're about to enter a phase where I'm like, oh, I'm not sure how to make this work. So when we hit that phase, it's probably smarter if I just leave it for in between episodes, right? But we've got other things we're going to do in this area. We want to be productive. I want to get lots of things done in this stream. So if we go this way, nothing happens. Get back here, minecart. Nothing at all. Wait, because... Okay, I'm being a doofus. I'm being a doofus. We didn't do that side yet. Okay, apparently this needs to be 2 blocks closer. And now it needs an update. Let's try that again, peeps. Let's try that again. The timing ain't so bad. Like, when you're going full speed, it's almost perfect. I think it just needs a tiny pulse lengthener. Now, what we don't want to do with a pulse lengthener is back power, so it's always going to take 2 repeaters. And given the space that we have, I think we need to go back a block. Right, and where's that granite? Apparently granite is my block of choice for redstone today. So I think what we'll end up doing is that there. Yeah, this looks like it could work. Okay, so I wonder if I can get a little bit more juice out of this. Oh, maybe with a lock. No, locking repeat wouldn't work right there. That's probably actually it. So we'll put that one on the 4th. I mean, unless I made there more space down here. I'll come back and replace that dirt another time, right? So now it should just look a little bit cleaner, maybe. Let's also use this. Hey, that was perfect, man. That was perfect. Sweet. Okay, well, I think we sussed that one out. I'm going to leave it a mess because, like I said, I'll come back here in between episodes and make this stuff properly work, right? We just laid down the foundations for today. We laid down the foundations for a new horizon, a new tomorrow. Where riding the rails is safe. Now, who enjoyed that? There it is in chat. I thought for a second, oh yeah, there's one other step that I've missed. Who in chat is going to notice it? And people are saying invert the signal. Yeah, must invert the signal. And that can be done very easily. But yeah, I'll have the same effect, maybe with 1 tick of delay. Is the only difference, which may actually mean now we can we remove... No, it would back power if I removed the repeater. The repeater is rather important. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we've added a really cool redstone feature right there. Next thing that we're going to do is extend the path down in that direction, and... Actually, no, we're not going to do that today because I need to grind out some materials. I want to get stuff done, as I said. Next thing we're going to take a look at is this right here, okay? we need a combination of blocks or a way in which to get this to look good. And I'm going to need all of y'all to help me. We have Music Technician here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Thank you ever so much, Music Technician, for your support. I appreciate it. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. Humblebee says, God, is it me or is this too cute? What's too cute? The rail line? I guess it's kind of cute. Cobble wall. We have to be very careful about what materials we introduce here. Oh. It's an annoying sound, isn't it? I can, you know, it's so close I could probably modify something here and make it feel like it's part of the entrance. X the villager, says Mr. Hype. The villager? What villager? You can put stairs. I like that note block idea as people go past. Yeah. I'll put down a sign for that, because we'll come back here and we'll make it super amazing and all of that. Right. And a place for my sticks. Capital letters. Capital letters. Anvils on the poles, says Low. Yeah, okay, so talking about what blocks we can use, we need things that complement what's already in this area. I think the iron trapdoors are almost a little bit heavy-handed there. I might actually think about using some different ones, but we'll come back to that another time. What kind of blocks? Ooh, now you're getting me thinking. Now the brain's ticking over. So I want to avoid cobblestone just because it's kind of ugly, but we can put that and that. And there's a little bit of something going on there. But then we need the end rods to connect to the side of it. Hobbers and sea lanterns, someone said. So another problem is I think we're going to have to try and avoid full blocks. So they don't line up very well, but you know, if it were a little bit higher, it'd be perfect. A suggestion I had on Twitter was to use armor stands, which is really smart. The problem might just be adding entities to the area and something else. What's the other thing? Don't know. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pop into this world. Okay, so... Okay, no blocks out of there. So what we don't want is full blocks. And we don't want things that look too industrial. And I think that's kind of our only options here. Full blocks and things that look industrial. Skulls. Banners. And then there's those armor stands. Now obviously this kind of looked good, but we didn't get to connect it up very well. So that's a possible option. Daylight sensor probably isn't going to line up very well. I'm really not seeing the sort of block that we need. To all the peeps in chat, I think we're going to rule out full blocks. They're too chunky. Although maybe like an upside down extended piston would kind of look alright. I really don't think there's actually many options here. That's kind of it. I don't see anything I might have overlooked. So it's going to be a kind of bite the bullet pick site that looks half okay. There is anvils that we should try. Flower pots, that's not going to work. And then it's all full blocks after that. That's the problem. Alright, we'll go back in. Hopper on top. Yeah, it almost works, Winsent. It just doesn't line up quite right. Mini blocks, says Gimme. If we use mini blocks, we're going to have to put them on arm stands. We're going to have to use a couple of them. Snow layers, someone suggests. So that takes up a full block. Okay, this really is the best. How do we get this to look just a little bit better? I think the armor stand is going to be a thing. Let's grab our armor stands, okay? So we have tools here. There it is. Sideway hopper, says Feka. Well, if we do a sideways one, there's only going to be it going in one way. I wonder if I could just... I can just... Yeah, like... Oh. Yeah, so you've fallen into there. That's one thing. Right, and now you're on there. Now, can I put you... I can't, but I can piston this thing. I can piston it, you know. You know, that would happen, wouldn't it? That would happen. That's fine. But that reminds me, if I put a block behind it, it's going to be a pain in the bum. This is going to be tricky, however we figure it out. How do we get it into the right position here? I think I know a way, but it's going to be quite painful. So if we have this here, and we put the armor stand on it first, which means we can't have... Well, actually what I can do is leave it there. That will fall through. Okay, so that's slightly wonky, but okay. Now what we need to do is possibly push that in from the side. I've got a feeling the hitbox is going to move it. So, like this. Yeah, the hitbox pushes it along. Okay, let's try something again. Hey, wait a minute. The book might help us here. Like, if we put like ignore gravity, will it be a... Jeez, will it ignore the piston as well? Oh wait, yeah, no. Wait a minute. Hang on. Yeah, let's think with the book. The book can move this thing. Right, it's not just about ignoring gravity, is it? Okay, so grab the book. Chosen BC says, finally you got it. Do you mean the book? So if I go in here and we remove the base plate first of all, that's important. Oh, if only... Wait, maybe we make all of this out of oak instead of birch, and then it would match the thing as well. Okay, so then we want to... what would a small stand look like? Okay, we're not doing that. Right, apply gravity. No. And then we can nudge its position down like... So that's like 1 of a block. And then it would be a 4 of a block. And then a 7. Okay, kind of looks like it might be just a 10 of a block. Okay, that's 10. I think we're onto something here. So if we change that and this, then we kind of get what we want. Let's go grab the materials then. So we'll be using these, and then we don't have any oak trapdoors, which is fine. We can make some nice and easy. We got a noise in the ear. It's Dr. Bobblehead. Resubscribed for 4 months in a row. Dr. Bobblehead, thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it. Hope you are enjoying the stream we're doing here today. Doing some creativity stuff, aren't we? Oh, it's getting creative over here. Okay, there we go. Right, so we got a fair amount of those. Again, though, what is the problem with this? It's just that that's high, and we just need a little bit more to connect. But the that thing's going to do the job. So another thing I need to consider is spacing, right? Let's do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's a good number. Let's go here. And then have 2 blocks over there. Actually, it's probably... Let's make it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be here. And we don't need this stuff anymore. One thing I do want to do, though, is have an even amount of end rods in between. I think that'll look good. So maybe I won't worry about this thing being identical, symmetrical, right? Probably getting a bit too fussy at that point. Okay, so we have to probably put down 1, then 2, break that, put the other thing up top, something like that. Zazzy Lavender says, I think one of the costs of keeping Article 13 in place settle in, they'll repeal the nonsense in a hurry, especially when big companies begin abandoning the EU. Yeah, let's hope that they do, though. Let's hope that they hear what YouTube is saying about it, etc. Right, we've got noises in the ear. Crystal Tear is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. And we got some cheers and some bits being thrown at me by I'm Kaji, saying, Asuma, can't you just attach 2 gates on either side of a 3-high fence post? I like this idea, because it means we might be able to keep our birchwood. How did I never think of that? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Is this the derp of the century? No! I've done it again! It's the derp of the century. How do I keep doing this? Oh, jeez, it's so much easier. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. We can also make that a little bit higher, because as a player walking under here, I feel a little bit unsafe, you know? Alright then, we're doing it that way round, peeps. We're doing it that way round. Oh, everyone wants me to press the dirt button. But will I press it, or will I be a spoil sport? What do you think? What do you think I'm going to do, chat? Am I going to press it, or am I going to be a spoil sport? If you can predict it correctly, I will do exactly what you predict. Now that's confusing, isn't it? Jeez, you're thinking, I don't know what he's going to do now. That sentence confuses me. I'll press the dirt button for you. I know you need your dopamine rush. Jeez, bunch of dirt fiends. Goodness me. Right, let's do that right there. And then some of those, and then make some of these. Some of these, or some of those, or some of them. Right. We have the solution. We have the technology. Can we build this? Yes, is the answer. How? Oh! God damn it! Gah! That's convenient. That's kind of convenient. I'm no longer mad. I'm no longer mad. Because I got all my stuff back immediately. Oh. Oh, we should probably sleep. We should probably get out of here before there's more damage done. Okay, what I don't want right now is a second creeper explosion before I get all of my things back. That would be very bad. Okay, chat is going crazy right now. Crazy like JZ. Jeez, chat. Calm down, it's alright. We're okay. Let's sleep in that bed before something else bad wanders over here and blows me to smithereens, you know? Whew. Whew. Corporate espionage gone wrong, says Metamorphic Mike. The creeper was working for Sahara. It was a Sahara spy, I tell thee. Okay, so clearly we need some trapdoor. It looks like the damage was sort of minimal. I think we lost a banner. Yikes. Oh, there's still stuff on the ground. Hey, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. Anything else? Oh, and this. Okay, so some of those trapdoors. I think we got them all. Was someone typing in chat, ever wonder why gunpowder isn't made from ground guns? Oh, TFC. I don't even know what to say. That's amazing. That is amazing. Let's sort out this inventory. I mean, this inventory is a wreck right now, okay? It's not looking very good. Something like this. People are saying shovel other side. Both my shovels are in my inventory. I guess that was probably a little bit delayed. I'm reading in chat. So what's baby powder made of then? Sheesh, says Stomp. I'm going to reply. Oh, that's a good one. I think I might wait until I've got my gravel and actually, I do have andesite in here. Okay, no, I can fix this up now. We don't want to know. I was going to say hint. It's in the name. I think they've got the point. I think they got the point there. One of these is gravel. Sweet. We do have fun when we stream, don't we? Right, let's go put these things in here. Kablamo. No, you're the wrong type of trapdoor. How dare you be in my inventory? How dare. Okay. Let's do that. You are like Iskal laughing out loud. Because me and Iskal are the only people, okay, we copyrighted laughing out loud and all these people are copying us. Keep your laughter to yourselves, okay? Jeez. Copycats. Bunch of copycats. Right, let's do that. Leaves, we need them. Cool, look at all the boxes. The chest monsters. I blame the creeper for this one. Yep, that's the right way around. And back to normal, pretty much. Except the banner. Oh! Oh, one more thing. Please, Suma, one more chest monster. By the way, we've got noises in the ear from Lucaro1357, resubscribing for 13 months in a row. I don't know if I use black or yellow wool, you know. Thank you so much for your support. Say nope, not in a row. Damn it! How did you know what I was going to say? How did you know? Oh no, I got it back. Cool. And what type was it? It was a yellow banner. Cool. Yeah, it would be. The Ozium is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime, and Arluv Mycelium is here for 17 months in a row, saying RIP. RIP indeed, buddy. Thank you everyone for your continued support as always. Do appreciate you. And I hope you're enjoying today's live stream. Did you hear that, peeps? I hope you're enjoying it. Olive oil made of olives. Sunflower oil made of sunflowers. Baby oil. Okay, there we go. Right, I now see people in chat telling me that it was already in my inventory. I tend to look at chat after the storm. Once the storm's passed, I go, right, time to look at chat, and I'm like, oh, there's all the advice that I needed. There's all that derp avoidance advice, right. So this thing can come across here. So that would be 6 blocks between it and the next one, which feels like an adequate distance. And bam, that's a crazy noise in the ear. It's the one, the only, it's Marilyn Miner for 36 months. Emerald facing it up. Put it on that emerald face in chat, are you, Marilyn? Saying, it's a big one, happy 3-year anniversary. Indeed, thank you so much for 3 years of support, truly appreciated. I hope you're having a good time hanging out with us today. So far, we have been productive, okay? We've been creepered, happens from time to time. Should I put one of these in the middle of this? I feel like no is the answer there. I'm going to answer that for y'all. Also, who sells end rods? Because I'm going to need a lot of them now. End Rod Hubbard. Just popped into my head. Getting a little bit Scientology up in here. It's not even funny, is it? It's just... Why does that pop into my brain? Okay, right. Of all the things that could pop into my brain. So this is now 4 tool. That's what's confusing me. I thought we made it taller by making it 3 tool. But no, it's 4. Ah, that's beautiful. That's it. Look at it. That's the one. I think you maybe even make it 1 higher. I really do like that. That's cool. Apparently Mumbo sells them. Good to know. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so last time we had a gap of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's say it's then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not really ready for it to get lowered. So I'm going to add an extra 2. And then we're going to put it here. You're the wrong way. You're the wrong way. Looks good, says Pepper Switch. It looks good, doesn't it? Apparently Mumbo sold out. One message is like, Mumbo sells them. The next one is like, Mumbo sold out. So is that, it's almost perfect, right? Like I'm going to have to put it on top of this thing, which actually, yeah, I think that works. Right, now this one's slightly different because we're going down a block. Aha! And then 5, 6. If you're spamming your message over and over again in chat, I'm just not going to read it. Okay, letting you know. Fair warning, right? You spam, it won't get read, basically. Gale Force says, are you English? I am indeed. Does Mumbo even remember that he has that shop, says Z. I don't think so. I think he's forgotten about it. That's pretty swell right there. I like that. So I feel like we've done another good thing. It's been a productive stream. But we're going to move on to something else now because I want to keep chopping and churning through the projects, right? We've got things to talk about in our episode and progress with here and finish up. That was good. I'm glad we investigated these little ideas and got some things done together, you know. Okay. Gravel. Rabble. I guess we'll throw a couple of things away here. The sticks should have a home. Actually, I'm going to throw away the sticks. I find it's easier just to throw like certain items away rather than constantly having to look after them. And do you go in there? No, but that's fine. We'll hold on to you. Okay. I think most of this is ready to be packed away then. How did that break? That's kind of strange. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gravel, this one I got the book for. The book doesn't go in there. 2, 3, 4. I count them when I put them back in, so I don't, like, if I have one less, I know I've left one on the ground. I think the 3 shulker boxes that were missing, one of them is somewhere else. So it shouldn't be a problem. I'll have to double check that when we get over there. We've got noises in the ear from Oster2000, resubscribing for 6 months, saying, woohoo, 6 months, been a long time. Thanks for all the great fun, X. Appreciate your support, buddy. Glad you're enjoying the streams, and thank you again. Right, we're going to leave that there. Because I don't want to open up all my shulker boxes to pack it away again. Right, so we're going to head off to a new area, peeps. It's time for a new chapter of this live stream. X, put trash in its proper lava-based trash can, says Chaser. What? Put trash in? Do you mean throw my stuff into lava? Oh, these are organised. Shantytown time, says Dragon Plays. Nope. We're going to go to the new area, which doesn't really have a name, does it? X, how are you going to handle all the remaining rivers roaming on the server? At some point, I'll go fight them again. When I need a beacon. Oh, then again, they're Iskals, so no. I'll go fight them at some point. The Holy Project Trinity, says Mr. Hype. If you want to call it that, you can surely call it that. It's crazy ambitious. This is the one. So we should see... Is it that one? I'm a bit concerned now. Where did my extra thing go? What am I missing here? Wait, I'm missing that. I thought... Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's good. That's good. We're good. Badger says, have you restocked the XP shop furnaces? I have not done that. I have become bored of become very bored of doing that. Let's think about what we're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna take the beachy sandy approach and mix it with some of this style right here. I'm not sure entirely how this is gonna go down. We need to make some concrete powder though, that is for sure. So we need our sand, we need our gravel. And thank goodness we're just making the powder. I'm going to make a whole bunch of this. Because the other stuff is painfully difficult once you've got to, you know, convert it. Yeah, so we need lots of grey dye. Going to put down our backpack. Down the old crafting bench. And our bed. See, I'm prepared every time. Every time. Organisation, my friends. Jack the Cat is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Jack the Cat, thank you ever so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Songbird T says, hi, Suma. Hi, Songbird T. Doris says, I would eat some dark chocolate-coated raisins now. Oh, you mentioned those yesterday, I'm pretty sure. And the other thing that you made me think about now is food. What did I eat today? Probably nothing that interesting, really. But tomorrow I'm gonna make an interesting meal. Like not even an exotic or glamorous meal. Okay. I got some goat's cheese and mozzarella. Well, goat's cheese and beetroot and mozzarella and pesto, Kiev little dough ball things left over, and I decided I'm going to have them with a ton of spinach, and then soak it all in tomato soup. I don't know why, but I just it's not glamorous, but I just got this feeling I'm going to really enjoy it. I've got that feeling. I'm like, that's my jam right there. Now, when I was younger, I used to make my world famous called bowl of goop that no one else in the household would ever eat. It was my meal. No one had ever touched that thing. Okay? But here's the thing. It was when I did not eat that healthily. And so the contents of this is not that healthy. It's not terrible, but it's not particularly good as well. I'm trying to remember now all of the ingredients because there's been many iterations over time, right? I've tried this with many different ingredients. Now, I do not encourage you to make bowl of goop, okay? That's its official name. I called it bowl of goop because that's what it becomes when you cook it. And it is, it is entry-level cooking and it's very basic, right? You do not need any cookery skills to make bowl of goop. The name might have told you that. The name might have told you. Bowl of goop doesn't sound healthy at all, says Lold. I'm glad it's not misleading you, because it ain't healthy, peeps. It's not healthy, the bowl of goop. Alright, so bowl of goop. You get a can of tomato soup, right? You're going to put that in the microwave and heat it all up. But before you do that, you're going to do some other things. You're going to grab some biscuits, okay? I used to eat water-baked biscuits, which are probably the healthiest type of biscuit you can actually get, now that I think about it. You would grind a whole load of them down until they're like dust, and you would throw it in the tomato soup. Then you would just get any assortment of cheese that was available in the fridge, right? And you would just bung loads and loads of cheese into there, and Philadelphia as well. And I'm sure there are other ingredients. If there was something that could go in bowl of goop, it was going in bowl of goop. And then you just end up with this chunky, ridiculously creamy tomato-y cheese bowl of goop. And now I actually want to eat it again. I want a bowl of goop now. It's terrible, but I want some. I'm puking already, says Dragon Plays. Mekadu says bowl of goop sounds amazing. Different reactions, peeps. Different reactions. I'm the kind of person that can eat like a large portion of one thing. So for me, like, it all has the same consistency, and that's just fine. If you like a plate of vegetables or lots of different tastes to get through, then you're probably not going to like it, I'm guessing. Hamstap says, I often enjoy myself a nice bowl of goop. So we have other bowl of goop eaters, do we? You can't put garlic with peanut butter, says Randy. That sounds about right. Bowl of goop sounds like liquid pizza. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what other things I would put in bowl of goop. Because it was often like what was on hand, but one of the key ingredients was the old Philadelphia. Oh, that just made it super creamy and kind of crazy, Kinda crazy. Becca Loves Panda says, a bowl of goop, what is it? It's whatever's on hand most of the time. Sausage, says Nodonomi. I don't think I ever put meat in it. I don't think I ever put, like, any form of cooked meat in. It was always biscuity stuff. I don't know why. Oh, that was the other thing you put in it. I forgot the main ingredient. I just realised I put this in every time. It's been so long since I've made this, okay? Right, so you got the ground up biscuits. You got cheese. You got Philadelphia. You got tomato ketchup. Noodles. Noodles was the other ingredient. Oh, I can't believe I forgot that. Noodles and tomato ketchup? Tomato sauce. No, tomato soup. Jeez, getting all the wrong ones. Yeah, tomato soup and noodles go together so well. If ever you need a quick meal and you're in a rush, that's a great combination right there. And that was the other one. I've got to eat it again. I've got to put it on my list, like of like. I don't have a list of things I'm supposed to eat. Apparently, I want a list. I need to make a list and then put this on it. That's what I need to do. It's like jazzed up SpaghettiOs, says Marilyn Miner. Yeah, I guess you could say so. SpaghettiOs, though, nowhere near as tasty. The tomato-y stuff you get in SpaghettiOs is quite mild. Tomato soup is quite strong. New stream, cooking tips of X, says Tom CD. Do you know what I would like to do? I would like to perhaps exchange recipes or something. Like, I know you can just go online and look up recipes and stuff, but it's like, you don't know what you're looking for, right? Anyway, I don't really have too many to share because I'm a very plain cooker, right? Like today I just put some chicken in the pan, put some spices on it, and then had it with some eggs. That was it. That was literally it. Hey X, can you invite Gree and a Hermitcraft in the future season, says Joker. Let me just make a time machine, go into the past, do that, and bring you back to this season. He's on the server. Jeez. Imagine if you didn't know. Imagine that. One of my favourite comments I've read was someone put like, Hermitcraft Season 3, Amplified, Hermitcraft Season 4, Mesified, Hermitcraft Season 5, Mega Bases, Hermitcraft Season 6, Grian. And I was like, yep. He has been the twist of the season, I tell you, with all of his antics and shenanigans. I was hoping the beacon would reach this area. Why don't we actually go focus on an area where we can be more productive? And we're going to put down chests, and they're going to fill up fast, my friends. Might be smart to put those chests in a storage room, but I haven't pre-built one. Maybe that should be one of my first projects in this area, is to get a little storage room just for all the junk. Lol says, what are you making at the moment, X? We're making paths, but we haven't done much path making yet. I just kind of wanted to clear out the space first of all. So over here, I should have some chests available. This is why we filled up so quickly, because I've prepared to do building and then not done any. It's not the smartest way to do things, is it? And bam, we got a noise in the ear. It's a donation here from Fira saying, on another topic, your episode reminded me, what do you think about a faster day-night cycle for the ends, like 1/8 in space for the Nether, to help iron farms? Directly or by contraption on the center island. MB, force mobs stance the first digits of pi. I don't know what you meant by the end of that message, but I think you're saying that when you go into the end, time speeds up. I think that would be really weird on a multiplayer server. Like, it would feel kind of unnatural to have the sun just going through the sky and it turn into to night constantly. Yeah, I'm not so into that idea. Doesn't seem very necessary. But thank you so much for the donation and support. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Dear Shemi says, Angrian does the mood lights. The mood lights? Laura Incredible says, gotta go. Great stream so far. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you enjoyed what we got up to. And have a great rest of your day. Right, so this path that I prepared myself to build. Are we in beacon range over here? I guess. Oh, we are not going to be in beacon range anytime soon. I don't know why I want to build it where the beacon range is. So, what we're potentially going to be doing is throwing down a combination of blocks here. Yeah, I don't need that, do I? Right. So I think our other paths were too wide. So we'll go for that. And it'll always be the same distance, is the idea. Except maybe not in this corner, because it's then going to go that way. So we'll leave it too wide there. So I'm not sure if this actually... are we going that close to these blocks? Ah, there's a slight thing that I've missed there. Do I want to... I think I want to bring them out a little bit. We've got a lot of space to work with here. Let's go grab some cyan blocks, peeps. I got to cook normal soup now. See a great stream, says Ed Cheerio. Gotta clarify that it's normal soup. It's not bowl of goop. Who's going to eat a bowl of goop? Who has heard about the recipe of the bowl of goop and is going to eat it? I'm going to advise you, a bowl of goop is probably going to be, if you put a lot of cheese in it, close to 1,000 calories. You know, fair warning. I will, says Mr. Pedro. I'll eat it, says Fazenrad. Oh, jeez. I'll eat it when next time I go home, says Willy One. Jeez, people are planning on eating the bowl of goop. You got to report back. Then go on a jog, says Witty. Make sure you give it 3 or 4 hours for the food to settle. I mean, everyone's different, right? For me, I can't have food in my stomach when I like work out or and not so much when I work out, but when I exercise, right? So, sorry, running. So if I go for a run, I got to make sure I haven't eaten for like a good 3 to 4 hours beforehand. Sometimes 2 if I've got to push it for some reason, right? So I expect to report back in a couple of days when we next do a stream. I want to hear what you think of the bowl of goop, alright? It's soup, it's noodles, it's ground up biscuits and cheese, and Philadelphia. Eat some soup and then take a poop. Sorry, but it rhymes, says Average Martin. Never apologise for a rhyme! Oh. Brilliant. Bowl of goop sounds nice, says Azzy Lavender. It was nice. I like, as disgusting as it sounds, I always liked it. I just stopped eating like that eventually. But I tell you what, lately, oh, so many food cravings. It's gotten really bad since I haven't been able to work out. I just keep thinking about food. Actually, no, it's probably just as bad before. You'll be a better judge of that. Were we talking about food a lot, like a few months ago? Probably. Yeah, look at this. I'm gonna bring it out a little bit further. This path, and then have that come in 1 block further as well. All right, so these are gonna go like so. That one gets to stay where it is, I guess. You just have more time to think about food now, says Steph. Maybe. I don't know, you'd think I'd be more worn out, so my body would be craving more food, but I think it's, I don't know what it is, it's just, I'm not in my usual rhythm, I'm not in my usual self at the moment, so it all feels different. Right, let's come back over here. Drag that around that corner, or as far as that's going to go. So far so good, I think. Oh no, that's gonna go there. Okay, then it goes back by 1 here. Yep, that's all good. That bit's correct. Wonderful. Okay, so then all the sand goes into this space, basically. And let's get some grass to go under those blocks. The biscuits X added to the bowl of goop are called sultanese to North Americans. Are you sure? They're water biscuits. They're like biscuits that are made with no sugar or salt added. Like, it's very lightweight on your body, light on calories. They sort of go through you. They're not particularly much to worry about if you pop a few with a meal. Like, they're really light. Feel like we should put the occasional slab over here as well, which is why I brought them. More so into the corners, so they look like they've been blown in there, is the idea. Alright, and now it starts to come together a little bit. Inside Senef says, hey X, what do you think about the new villager mod for Tango Tech? And would you maybe put it on Hermitcraft? It won't be coming to Hermitcraft. That I can tell you. That it will not. It certainly looks cool though, right? I'm interested in Tango's series on it. I was interested in playing it myself. But considering not having time to do Factorio, and I just think I'll stick to what I'm currently on in terms of my schedule, right? Otherwise I'm probably going to end up falling behind or something. And we've got some more. So looking pretty clean and sweet so far. This thing, the way it sort of comes out like this, I actually don't think I like that very much. I think what I'll probably do is like pick the furthest back bit and then have it just go straight here rather than have it curve around like this. Cuplex with the late bananas, welcome to the stream Cuplex, appreciate it, hope you're enjoying the stream. To all the peeps watching, be sure to hit that follow button and get notified of when I go live on twitch.tv. I have just noticed what the time is. An hour into our streams, what we like to do is take an eye break. This is where I encourage all of you to look away from the stream. And you're thinking, what, the stream is telling me to tune out? Well, I'll check my email, I'll look at my phone. No! I mean, look away from the screen, the device. The iPad, the TV, the monitor, the phone, whatever it is you're watching this stream on, this is a moment to give your eyes a rest from staring at those screens. Because those doctors, they keep saying those screens, don't stare at them all day. Every hour, take 5 minutes break. I said, doctor, don't you know I'm streaming? Doctor said, why are you streaming when you're in my office? I'm not going to take a full 5 minutes, but you can take this moment to drink some water, replenish your fluids. Open a window, get some fresh air, you know. You know, don't be in a stuffy room all day. It's bad for your brain. Less oxygen getting up there, less efficient. That's some real science. Anyway, peeps, we're going to get right back into this because I only take literally a minute. And doctors tell me that's bad. Chosen BC says, tell that to my job. You know, if you're working in like a stuffy office environment, you don't get breaks off the computer and all that stuff, like... There have been some really good studies showing that working in those environments, like having breaks and getting like the proper posture when you sit and, you know, all of those health practices feed into productivity. They make workers more productive and it's almost like a win, you know, to make sure that your employees have the right kind of breaks and equipment to work on so they're not getting, you know, tired on the equipment or... injured by it if they're not sitting at it correctly, that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's not the way companies often operate. It's usually like, hey, you're not working every second of the day. That's bad. Having well-rested workers being productive is probably better. That's how I'd run my office. My dream office! No, I don't want to run an office. But if I did, oh, those employees, they'd get frequent breaks, I tell you, frequent breaks. Best season so far, in your opinion, X? Mine is personally season 4. Yeah, this is the best season for me. I say that every season, that's because Hermitcraft gets better, but when season 7 starts, it's going to be hard to say... You know, for the first few months that it's better. It's got a lot to compete with, right? It's got a lot to compete with for sure. I feel like we should be in a desert now with this music. Very sandy. Oh wait, am I doing it wrong here? Because the elevation changes. That's something I hadn't thought of. Huh. Yeah, elevation changes. We've got to deal with that. So... What does this mean? The sand sort of goes upwards here? It's going to happen somewhere around here. Sorry, Scar, that's getting buried forever. That's like a little secret that only us know about now. The terraforming has hidden it. Season 7 confirmed, says Numbermore. Okay, you heard it here first, peeps. There will be a Season 7. Joa says this is the only season I've ever watched. Well, if ever you want to watch something else, there's always the old seasons to watch on You know, the videos are here on YouTube. Wait, is that where it goes up? No, it's not where it goes up. I don't know what's going on here. I'll figure it out later on. But it looks like it's going to go up again here. To around this height. And I fell, and I got jangled by a cookie. Thank you for hitting the follow bar, by the way. The follow button, by the way, peeps. I can hear all the follow noises. Appreciate you. Appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Okay, so it's just around here, actually, when it starts to elevate again, isn't it? Let's go in here and chomp out a little bit more of this space. I've got a feeling I need to go put some of this dirt into some chests, right? Alright, let's go do that, because we need to sleep in the bed as well. Oh, you got a jangler cookie, says Jawa. Yes, we got a jangler cookie. Axana says, are there any new candidates for Season 7? No, nothing's even being discussed about Season 7 at the moment. But what I will say is we had a bit of an incident on Twitter, actually, the other day, with someone, like, pestering and starting petitions to get someone on Hermitcraft. Just leave it to us. That's all I can say. When it comes to, you know, if you want to make a hermit aware of another YouTuber, streamer, whatever, you can do that. You can say, hey, have you seen this person? They make cool videos. But the whole get this person on Hermitcraft type thing, it's just the worst way to be introduced to someone. Because it just sets up like a bad environment for them coming on. I never dropped off the materials, did I? Scar, for example, was, you know, with obviously, in retrospect, very good reason, I would always get comments about this Scar guy. Get Scar on Hermitcraft, get Scar on Hermitcraft. And because of it, whenever I saw his channel, I just sort of looked the other way, because I was like, oh, that's that person people keep pestering about. It sets like a really bad tone. It makes you wonder if perhaps this person is like trying to organize people so they can pressure you to get on. And it's just not a good idea. And I had to try and explain that to someone who thought that we would only let people on if someone signed a petition for it or something like that. Anyway, we got Conboy resubscribing for 34 months in a row. Conboy, thank you ever so much for your support. I appreciate it. 34 months. Wow. Approaching that emerald face. DJ PH, there is absolutely no need to say that. That's a strong word, you know. You should think carefully about when you want to use words like that. And I completely disagree with you, okay? Estellian is wonderful. She's always here helping out people in the chat and looking after people here, answering their questions, making sure the tone of the conversation is civil. Do you know how different Twitch chat will be if there weren't someone sitting around doing something like that? You know, there'd be a bunch of effing and jeffing and spammers coming along. It wouldn't be as pleasant a place, right? It wouldn't be as pleasant a place at all. So, Stellian, thank you so much for everything you do. You are appreciated. And now I'm feeling guilty because I didn't give you a warning that I was going to stream. That passed my mind again. I'm trying my very best. I will get in the habit. I'm sure we'll be able to do it at some point. Jeez. I'm a terrible streamer. I don't deserve you. That fits. Zephron says, got to appreciate those who keep the chat friendly. Absolutely. You know, modding is such a hard thing to do because whatever you do, you generally will manage to upset someone, right? And usually it's because people react emotionally to things. People don't like someone of authority telling them what to do. And therefore, when someone comes along and says, oh, you can't say that or do that here, like, you have a kind of knee-jerk response, and usually you therefore apply a tone to the person who's told you this. You look at them like, oh, they're telling me off, like, this isn't right. And I've seen it happen countless times. I know who my moderators are. They have like good intentions of trying to help people out, but you get these emotional knee-jerk responses where people don't evaluate their own behavior. And a lot of the times, you know, like, a moderator might just be trying to prod you in the right direction. Like, you may not even have done something that bad, but the knee-jerk reaction is not to listen to what's being said and to fall into that kind of response of feeling wronged. And, you know, unfortunately there are some moderators out there, I've encountered some, who might abuse power. I remember one of the first Minecraft servers I went and played on, right? The admins were total power abusers. Like, they didn't care. Something, I can't really remember the details. I remember the experience. The experience was like this moment where you're like, oh, this has happened and I need some help or whatever. And then they're just like, yeah, we don't care. And they were just enjoying their admin powers. And I think they like kicked someone off the server for fun or something like that. And it was just one of those experiences where I was like, oh God, I'm going to stay away from here then. And that is not a Stellian at all, or any of my mods. I've never seen that kind of behaviour from them. We're all about fostering a community and making sure, you know, like people are welcome here and etc. etc. You know, modding is one of the toughest jobs you can have on Twitch, says Slacker J. Yeah, it is. Modding in general, you know. We've got a noise in the ear from Buttered Toast. Subscribe with Amazon Prime, and Kronk K37 subscribe with Amazon Prime as well. Thank you so much for the support, peeps. Excuse me, may have just burped there. Tried to hold that one inwards. You might have been able to hear it. Oh, burpy Assumer, eh? Got a noise in the ear from Marilyn. Sorry, not Marilyn. Marin Moreld. Saying, for 6 months in a row, saying, just wanted to say hi. Well, hello to you and welcome to the stream. Thank you for your 6 months of support. Do appreciate it, and I hope you're enjoying the stream. I hope you are. Winnie T Forward says, we are a friendly bunch in the Asumaverse. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when it comes to recruiting people to be moderators, what I look for, essentially, is people who naturally have an inclination to want to help others. If anyone ever asks, like, can I be a moderator, that's usually like a red flag. Because if someone's looking for that, it's because they want it, and usually that means they want power. Doesn't always mean it. But yeah, most of the people I've recruited, it's like, I mean, these days it's generally the staff themselves that recruit other people. But back on like the plot world and stuff, it was just like be observant of how other people interact with each other, and you notice that some people will answer people's questions, they will help others, and they will, like, you know, when someone calls, they will come. And then you're like, that's the sort of person you want to empower. They're doing it naturally. They're doing the things that moderators would do, but they're doing it out of, like, the goodness of their heart. And so you want to empower that and let them, you know, do that, and do it more so with an official rank and, you know, my support or whatever, as the community leader, air quotes. Yeah, you can be a moderator without being one, says Mr. Hype. Yeah, that's another good way to look at it as well, right? Like, if you're into what moderation is about, in terms of helping people out, not about the power thing, there's nothing stopping you ever from helping someone out. You can always answer a question or prod someone in the right direction, you know? Again, that's another reason why it's a red flag, because the basics, you don't need any ranks to do, really, do you, if you're just going to help people? So, yeah, again, it's similar to the, well, it's not actually similar, but it's kind of similar to the whole Hermitcraft thing we were talking about a moment ago. Like, if you ask to be a moderator, it kind of sets a bad precedent. It's sort of the same thing with asking someone to join. It's just not the way the beginning of someone joining our group should happen. It shouldn't be like a bunch of people are asking and pestering. That just sets the wrong tone for someone to join, right? Sure, you can imagine that. Imagine you're running your own group of friends doing stuff like a bunch of activities, and you know, it's not someone in the group goes, oh, I know this person who's cool and maybe they would, you know, have fun in our group or whatever. It's someone outside going, hey, get this person in your group, get this person in your group. It would just be like, bad way to go about it. Cool, we're having a waffle today, aren't we? Pepper Switch is here, subscribing, tier 1. Thank you, Pepper Switch, for your tier 1 subscription. And we also got Boris Elephant subscribing with Amazon Prime. Boris Elephant, thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. And I hope that you enjoy the stream that we are doing here today. Thank you for the support again. Zack Attack says, remember me from yesterday? Yes, you got gifted a sub. Gale Force says, sorry, I had to go for a second. So, if you did answer my question, I will have missed it again. How often and when do you stream? I usually stream this time of day on a weekday and in the morning on the weekends. And I, kind of stream maybe 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes 3. I don't have a schedule just because I found a schedule to end up being a bit restrictive and stressful. I prefer to just sort of do it as I see fit, right? Like, for example, if I had set a schedule, I'd probably been streaming at a specific time today that wouldn't have worked very well, and I probably would have been playing Satisfactory. But I just felt like getting on Hermitcraft again, and that was a good decision for me to make. Schedule again, says Marilyn Miner. Yeah, what do you mean again? I don't want to have a schedule again. I'm happy with just doing it like this, which I know isn't best for everyone, but it is what it is. We need to place more of these concrete powder blocks, basically, and we need to get rid of this jangly stuff so I can pick up all those blocks on the ground. Look at this, jangler cookies. I don't want them. I like how it sounds when you say that word. I'm just being silly, since Marilyn Miner. All right, okay, I can say it all day long. Schedule. Is CubeToast still hosting Hermitcraft, says Katie? No, we now host our own server. We decided to part ways with CubeToast. Mostly because people in the group felt different about if we should be with a company sort of promoting them or not, or if we should just host it ourselves. So we agreed to host it ourselves. I like how you say schematic. Can you say that? Schematic? Do you want a schematic of a Sumer saying schematic? Now there's the thing. Badger says, still sounds like cubed toast. Cubed toast? Goodness me. Cubed toast. I guess cubed toast. Maybe a little bit. If the D is kind of harsh, maybe it sounds like a... Jeez, I gotta go sleep in a bed. Right, let's go back over there again, I guess. Do you want to build a schematic? It doesn't have to be a schematic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of curious, what are your server specs, this Goosemaster? Pretty much got the best thing we could get. The server CPU had one of the highest single-threaded performance ratings that I could find available on a... I mean, I don't know really how buying servers scales, but it's certainly on a anyone can go buy it level with a actual proper professional host. We got the good hardware, and it's overclocked. Not only was it the one that we wanted, it was overclocked. So I was like, well, that's the one then. When are you going to wet that concrete? Oh, no, it's not going to get wetted. It's going to stay as powder, is the idea. One of the unfortunate things sometimes that happens if you spill water over your wet concrete. That's annoying. That is annoying. Are you hosting the servers at deploys? No. What is saturated wood slab? I have no idea. That is the end of the line, isn't it? Look at that. That's as far as we go in this direction. Alright, fair enough. Did that one come out an extra block? It did. So we know where the path goes over here now. Like I said though, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is changing this a bit, because I don't think that actually looks so good. But it is what it is for now. Yep, just like that. X, do you make a Hermitcraft world download for Bedrock? No, we don't, because it's not a Bedrock server, and I wouldn't know how to change it. Okay, there we go. I guess we'll continue the path around this corner. What does it take to host a server, says Riddle Schnack. You need technical know-how. I mean, Crazy Marth set it up for us, all the back-end stuff, so I couldn't even tell you. Luckily I got a bunch of amazing admins who help out. They run the Assumiverse server and they help out with Hermitcraft stuff as well. I feel like maybe... no, actually, that's going to undo the extra one. We got a noise in the ear from Sass9602, gifting a sub to Dear Shemmy for 31 months. Thank you so much for gifting the sub and supporting the community. Dear Shemmy, I hope you're enjoying the stream. Dear Shemmy there with the wide eyes. There you go, you've been gifted a sub. Awesome. Thank you again, Sass. Appreciate you supporting peeps in the community. Okay, let's do that. There we go. X, would you return to 1.8 PvP if you could implement a toggle command? Absolutely. Absolutely would we do that. Well, I would. And then over here, I don't even know what this is going to be, but something like this. Oh, there's a pressure plate there. Surprise Tulpa says, X, do you rent the server in the data center or do you brought it and keep it in someone's closet? Oh, no, we rent it. I wouldn't put it in someone's closet. That would be kind of strange. This is the first proper stream I've ever really watched, and it's so nice to feel included and have some of my questions answered, says Galeforce. You're a great Minecraft. To keep up the good work. I'll definitely come back when I get a notification you're streaming again. Oh, thank you, Galeforce. Glad you enjoyed it. Positive feedback right there. I like it. I like it. Yeah, I mean, I might stream tomorrow, I don't know, and then Thursday evening it'll be one of those 2 days, right? Like, I'll probably stream Friday, and then Thursday or Wednesday. So that's what you can expect. Peter Durst says, Asuma, are you doing any programming yourself? Or are you doing it in the past? I've done incredibly basic levels of programming. The only thing I really do programming is HTML stuff for my website. That's about it. And that's just copy and pasting half the time. Ah, yes, you would come out by one more block, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If you haven't noticed, I'm doing this a bit sloppy now, just because I'm kind of not so bothered. Gonna change this whole pathing up, basically. But kind of want to get, you know, the basics down, so when I work on it in an episode, it's kind of all there, ready to go. Right, so what is the third place for today's stream? It's the Shanty Town, isn't it? Can't forget about the Shanty Town. Wrong one again. Dear Shemi says, thanks, I appreciate the kind words, hope you're having a good one, Sass. Hope Sass sees that. Right, I think that's where we'll end it then, or maybe I'll put in a bit more sand stuff over here so it's just a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more developed across the length of this, I think is a good idea. We actually got pretty far with that, didn't we? That's all it needs. Have one there as well, and wait, where'd the sand go? That's the problem. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that. I think that's good. That's plenty to show off what I want to do in this area. Hey, Osuma, just dropping in for a bit. How's the project turning out? Says Sin. It's going good. It's going good. Got a fair amount done over here. Fair amount done. Got the basics in. One of the reasons I'm doing it like this though is because I want to play with the height difference a little, so I need to get an idea of how much this cuts in and where the height's going to be. I've got some really good ideas for how we're going to lay out this area and make use of the paths and stuff. It's going to be an interesting one. And there it is, says Hamstap. And there is what? Melon Sex says, what are you working on? We're working on this area, right? This is our beautiful base. Oh yeah, the pipes. I must remember to get pipes going in and out of this place, all over the place. In fact, the melon and pumpkin drops have got a storage room below, but I think the pipes are just going to go over to another area. I think I need to build something to remind myself of that before we leave, right? So if I go and chuck all of this stuff away quickly, we know where most of this goes, right? I know where the jangle cookie goes. It goes over the edge is where it goes. Apparently with a free rocket. Goodness me. Get rid of those dandelions. Don't need those. And then the sand apparently I didn't put away. Gonna need that where we're going. Thegis Noyens says, I can't say stuff on Discord. It is only readable, Asuma. Then, what you should do is read what it says, because the Discord tells you how to get participating and involved in the chat. And, peeps, we have a Discord server, discord.gg/Asuma. We would love to have you there. One of the things that I'm going to be doing is participating in the chat over there a lot more. And I'm actually thinking of setting up some new chat channels to talk about things like music and whatnot. So if you haven't joined already, or if you're in there and you're not active, it'd be nice to see you around. As yeah, the place has been taking off a little bit lately, which is nice. We've been chatting a lot, and it's been cool. Right, so those things go in there. So to make a pipe, we're going to need a brown box. This one. Now, I don't have green. Do you remember when we changed the texture over there to green? That was so much fun. We've already used these two types. And the other see-through one is oak, and oak is the least interesting of all. But I think I'll use that anyway. So just as a little reminder to myself, doesn't have to be a reminder to anyone else, we will line up a exit right here, and I will simply put these on them. So when I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to have trapdoor pipes come out of here. And that is important because they need to be visible. It's part of the overall bigger picture here, and now I can't see the bigger picture, okay? It's not visible to me. There we go. I'll see that, I hope. It's hidden by the beacon, but yeah. DJPH says, sorry for being harsh, Estelian. I'm sure you'll find Estelian will accept your apology, and good of you for saying that, man. Like, takes a bit sometimes to, like, speak up and say sorry, doesn't it? And it's always good to say sorry and make amends. What exactly is Discord, says Staff? It's like TeamSpeak meets Skype. It's like having a communal Skype server with lots of channels. Christella says, hey, you should really consider making a healthy stuff chat on Discord. I'm also super into healthy lifestyle and food habits and love it when you go on and on about it. Yeah, I do go on and on about it, you know. Very good point. Yeah, that's one of the channels I'm thinking of making, like a health and lifestyle channel. Although one thing I think would be really important before we like go off and properly make that is to lay down some like ground rules for what should be sort of said. Like, one of the things that happens a lot online is this kind of like anyone can appear as an expert, right? And I am definitely not an expert, but I'm also not someone who's just saying stuff like I think I know it all, right? Like, I try and put my ignorances forward and try and explain what information I have obtained and how I've gotten there. And I think we need some clever guidelines that kind of remind people to take precautions with advice, or you know, just so that channel doesn't become like a, hey, you told me I should do this and now I'm injured and ill, and you know. Like, we need to make sure the advice in there is reasonable and sensible, because it's not going to be experts talking about it, right? We should have the freedom to talk about whatever we want, even if you're not an expert, but we've got to be responsible with that, I think. So, yeah, that's basically it. Can you teach us the way of the smoothies, says Hello Gaming. The way of the smoothies. By the way, we've had a load of noises in the air. We've had Gina Health gifting a sub to Card Musician. And Anika has gifted a sub to Univer. Thank you so much for gifting the subs, peeps. I appreciate you supporting other people in the community. Thank you for doing that. Very kind of you. And I hope you all enjoy the streams that we're doing here today. I say streams, plural, you know, because we're doing multiple streams. Come on, get with the program. Jeez. What do you think this is? One stream. Talismancer is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Talismancer, thank you ever so much for your subscription. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hamstap says, high energy music. X, go kill a wither. Yeah. Average Martin says you should put a note about always consulting professional health before you do major health changes. Yeah, I agree. That should be the advice passed on, I guess. Make sure people know they need to think the changes through that they make. But, you know, at the same time, aren't some things agreeable? Like more exercise. We know what kind of foods in general are better. Stop eating fast food and junk food. I feel like there's maybe a few things we could say without having to say that. But it's probably just best to say it every time anyway. I've kind of just been laying back and half watching. This is great for relaxation, says Aaron the Elf. I like it. Crystal Tear says, agreed, the responsibility and common sense need to come into play. People should do their own research and inform themselves. There is so much science and research about it, and nothing is ever set in stone. We are always discovering and learning something about these things. People could pass on research links. Yes, yeah, maybe we could provide people with resources to point them in the right direction. I mean, I end up putting my trust and my faith in some YouTubers that I watch, which is kind of ironic because the people that got me into it, I now look back on and I'm like, although these people were here on YouTube and they got me into this stuff and they, you know, it helped, it taught you basics, they were also giving bad advice at the same time in retrospect. And finding your way to the people who are giving the good advice can be tricky because you don't know what the good advice is when you get started, right? So that's a thing that I think needs to be thought about and perhaps addressed. Lab says, but I need my goop. I need my bowl of goop. I suddenly remember the Hermitcraft Season 1 public tour. It was on a Sunday afternoon and I got personally invited by Jenny B. It was so great, says I've seen. Yes, we don't do those anymore because as fantastic as doing those open tours were, anyone, well, I say anyone, that's not right. Some people who didn't get on, I mean, made a lot of hysteria and complaint about it. I got a lot of nasty messages over running those Hermitcraft open days. It was so disappointing as well, like that people couldn't understand the idea that you can do something that's good for some people, and if you miss out on it, it was better than it not happening at all. But that just didn't get through to some people. And so, yeah, I got a bunch of nasty messages, quite a lot of them. It was really disappointing how poorly received that whole stuff was, because we wanted to make it like a very regular thing, you know, like every couple of months, do tours, and then we just had to kind of bottle the plans, really. Okay, let's get into this. So I reckon there'll be a door somewhere around here. Perhaps this kind of looks like that roof would naturally come over to here. So this thing's going to be too tall, isn't it? Let's actually put the door off to one side and make it a bit wonky. So we'll have that. Let's get this block in here. We're actually going to need that. Let's get rid of the bow. Seem to never use the bow. Kind of need sandstone now if I put a door there. Right, so we're going to have that, like so. Doorway into there. This one's going to be a bit higher and it will take up some of this space. So we'll go ahead and do this. So that one will probably come over the front here, which I think can end up looking cool. So that kind of fits into that space pretty well. Oh, it's actually, yeah, it goes back by one. Does Cubfan usually put out a Tuesday episode, says Caslab? I'm not sure if he has a schedule. I know Cubfan's quite a frequent uploader with the Hermitcraft. Quite the frequent. Yeah, we'll leave this little space here. Do something a little bit different. So this one's going to come up to that height. And once we built this little exchange here, we've got to ask ourselves, where does it go next? Do we put another little something in the corner here? I just don't know. By the way, there's some oak wood there. Yeah, no, these are still all birch, and then there's oak wood in between. X, my name isn't pronounced like you said. It's a Dutch name, says Thigis. Well, I'm doing my best to pronounce it. I'm not Dutch, so I don't know. Maybe a very tiny garden in the corner, says Surefire Tannis. I don't think these would have gardens because it's supposed to be a shanty town. It's supposed to be a little bit run down. It looks kind of gorgeous though because the textures are nice and clean. Let's go ahead and bring the path through here. With a little bit of jumble and some random going on. And some whoopsie doopsie. We'll have to remove that. And then I think it's going to start to go upwards here. Notice though it's too wide at the moment. That's deliberate. Ah yes, it would fill out this space here for sure. Let's go put that here. Let's do a double. Actually no, that looks horrible. Okay, so this is where the sandstone is going to go, right? It's going to peel into this little space. Just one block there. Just one block. Let's shuffle that backwards, actually. So it's going to go through there, quite narrow. And then up here. So our next bunch of blocks to grab, I think, is going to be the sandstone stuff. Aaron the Elf says, I kind of wish Minecraft had a way to make textures look dirtier. Massively expand on the building possibilities without requiring full blocks. I love the idea of being able to dye a texture by right-clicking on it with a dye. But imagine being able to hold like a dirty up or a roughen or, yeah, like just something you can click on the block and then apply a different property to it. I think that could be fantastic. And then imagine if like you had like a one break all tool, right? You don't have to shuffle between lots of tools. And then maybe a tool for placing blocks where you put the pre-designated color or texture in. Like, that could be so clever. Oh, I love the idea of that as a mod. That could be cool. Turian is here, resubscribing for 26 months, saying hi X. Hi Turian, thank you so much for your support, I appreciate it. Hope you are enjoying the stream that we are doing here today. On the twitch.tv/theassumer. If you haven't hit that follow button over here already, I advise you to do so. You get notified when I go live. And there's 1,100 people watching, so thank you ever so much, everyone, for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying, having a good time, hanging out as we work on the Shanty Town now. And we talk about stuff and things. Don't know what we're going to talk about, but could be anything, really. Maybe you could, if the place is supposed to be kind of run down, add some trash using armor stands. Yeah, I'm a bit mixed about using armor stands in that level, because they're entities in the world and they can contribute to the slowdown of the game in terms of FPS, but they are incredibly fun to work with at the same time. So I don't know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to use them a lot or not. But yeah, this would be a great opportunity to try, wouldn't it? Now I think the problem here is that we didn't foresee what was going to happen on this side yet. Did I include slabs? I missed out a block from our palette. Keyboardin25 is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Keyboardin, thank you ever so much for the Prime subscription. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the stream. And guess what? I've spotted the slabs. There they are. There they are. Jeez, those slabs getting away from me. Have some stray cats on the roof. Cats in this area would be more than welcome. That would look terrific, wouldn't it? Let's go ahead and yeah, build this up now. I'm going to go with smooth and then stairs and then down here just a slab. Going to have to break that out. Okay, and then there's sandstone. That'll do. Yeah, looking alright so far, I reckon. Now it's going to come out here. So I think what we'll do with this one is like a so. Maybe we'll turn that one to the side. Defy expectations a little bit, you know. I'm just going to fill that in with sand because I'm lazy. Right, that, my friends, I think is starting to really go in the right direction, but how much more do I want to build this up right now? I'm not sure. Okay, let's take a step back. Let's look at it from over here. Yep, I mean, it just works every time. Just throw in all the blocks, give it a little bit of shape, and off it goes. Off it goes. What are people in chat saying? Oh yeah, dead bushes and chests. Podzo on the bottom. Oh, we never put in flower pots. Chests would look so great in this area, wouldn't they? Great suggestions. Keep them in mind, because in a little while what we're going to do is go through a bunch of suggestions and revise everything. I think once those houses over there have been built, we need another round of revisions where we just kind of take ideas from the chat and see where we can go with this whole project, right? So what I want to do at this moment, though, is just build up what we're doing right now, and get this thing like taller and taller. And I know how I want to do this. Gonna use sand less. The higher up we get, less and less sand, I think. Yep, that's all looking good. All looking good. Maybe just a little bit flat, that wall now, isn't it? Put this one here. Hi, Asuma, taking a break from making a giant Minecraft animal bases. Happy to see you streaming. Cool. I'm playing on a server and getting money from selling netherwort, says Pushing Gamer. Awesome. Build yourself a sweet netherwort farm and rake in that dough. What are you building, says Jealous Pink Donut. We are currently building our Shanty town, which is based around a sandstone rock. Let's go grab... I think we've got plenty of that. Where is the rough stuff? There it is. Show wheat. Right, that'll do me just fine. You're hungry, Asuma, says Esam. Yes, yes I am, and now I'm eating. I feel like a western town would have been such a good project. Well, we don't have a western area, but I mean, as an isolated little project, you could build one, I guess. Hey X, in the long run, are water streams or hoppers more laggy? Because I want to use your pipes everywhere. Oh yeah, water streams I believe are better in general. Unless you like have a high amount of entities and you don't like look after them properly, like let them build up in the pipes. I'm fairly confident using the pipes would be better on the server, right? Because or maybe not. I don't know. That's a really good question, I guess. How am I going to climb this rock, eh? Got to climb it and get to the top. This can also be like a parkour course as well. There's a way to the top if you can find it. Right, I think we need to step back now and check out... Yeah, it's building up nicely. It just needs to keep going, really. That's great. I think that's exactly what we want in this shanty town. So now what we'll do is we'll come into here and we'll start to work on the floors a little bit, I guess. So things like this are going to change. And we have sandstone in here. What we will do... Or sand. We'll fill it up at that level on these sides to hide those blocks. That kind of feels like a lame reason to do that, actually, but... Then it just makes this room a little bit different if we have that. Which I kind of like, yeah. It's very cramped in here. Oh, do you know what we've got to put in some of these rooms? Beds. Beds have got to go in here, that's for sure. Right. So I can see how this is going to work, sort of. I think I'm actually going to remove these 3 blocks. It will look better once it's all done. It will make sense. This here is going to get broken, and in this one we're going to have that, then this... And then build the floor at this level this time. Wow, I just had the weirdest feeling like something landed on me. Okay. Are they the same texture on top? I think they are. Let's get rid of that. Need a bit of cracked floor and then some sand. Sweet, and now we need some birch. Preferably those ones. Hey X, do you like shaders, says Bat. No, I'm not a fan of shaders. I really just like Minecraft to look vanilla. If there's shaders and stuff on, I just don't think it looks very nice. This game isn't like trying to be realistic and glorious looking. I think Scar said it recently in one of his videos that the game is like kind of ugly, which is what makes building so appealing and so great, is that you make things that look beautiful, right? Oh, this is interesting. So I've kind of gotten a little bit carried away up here with the height. So we'll bring it back down to that level, and we'll put it here. Steps down, and everything at this level. I could do with Well, first of all, do that and then bring the shovel down. X, what is your opinion on alcohol? It's strange how it's basically a legal drug, although I enjoy it sometimes, says Zeosaba. You know, I personally believe in legalizing all drugs. I look at drugs like it's a health issue, but by not legalizing drugs, you put drugs in a more precarious and dangerous place where, you know, illegal activities happen, which means crime and whatnot. For example, you know, you might be thinking I'm crazy, but when the Prohibition happened in America in, what was it, 1920s to 30s, if I'm remembering correctly off the top of my head, what happened was an immense surge of crime happened, literally from the day that they made it illegal to the day that they made it legal again. There was a ginormous surge of crime, and it's because they pushed it all into the illegal places. And when you do that, you know, all kinds of violence and terror can be bestowed upon people because it's no longer in the hands of legitimate business. And there's many other reasons why I would say for legalizing it as well, but one of the main reasons is to keep people away from crime and from those bad situations. And if it's legal, we can give people proper healthcare as well for the use of drugs. As for alcohol specifically, you know, I can be rational and I can be emotional, and if I'm going to be emotional, I really dislike alcohol culture. I can't stand it. How like, I don't know, how normalized intoxication can be, how casual and haphazard, and like how you can have casual jokes about, you know, being hungover when you're like just ruining your body. Basically, you're feeding poison to your liver when you drink. And I get, if you want to drink, if you want to alter your state of being, that's fine. Everyone's got like their way of dealing with things. I heard like a very interesting anecdote recently about how people naturally seek out altered states of existence. Children will, you know, sort of hold their breath and run around in a circle because it will make them feel funny, right? Like there is clearly some sort of built-in instincts in humans to seek out these things. But just alcohol culture just rubs me the wrong way. I really don't like it. Like the whole going out and drinking, going on the lash or whatever they call it. It's just not me. And I want to enjoy life sober and find meaning and meaningful things in being sober. So I don't drink or do any drugs. I'm even wary of doing like caffeine. To me, that like alters my state of consciousness. But again, personal opinion, right? That's just me, my preference, and I'm very aware that I'm like projecting it onto the world around me when I say that. But you know, I just find it ugly. I find it really ugly how people can just go out and like, how would you say it? Like, inebriate themselves and basically inhibit their own functionality and put themselves in an environment where like you're in an altered state of consciousness, sort of on the intention of doing things you don't do when you're sober. It's just kind of mad to me. And so I don't drink alcohol at all. BJ Cabbage says, are you straight edge? I am not straight edge, because although I might line up with that, I don't really want to subscribe to someone else's ideology, and I don't want to, like, whatever you think straight edge is, for me to then say I am that. Like, I'd rather just tell you how I feel about something, right? Sumo, what's your favourite flower? Quick, change the subject. Talk about butterflies and flowers. I don't know. Flowers are beautiful things, but I never thought about having a favourite. The Vixen says there's also a difference between the goal of going out and drinking for a bit of fun and about going out with the goal of getting wasted. Of course, I agree, but the fact that it's kind of like a cultural thing that people get intoxicated together still kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like I said, I'm not trying to say it like I'm right or anything. This is just how I see it in the world and how I don't like it. Intergalactic says, I agree. I hate the idea of having my judgment impaired even a little. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I just want to be sober and as alert and me as I can be. Cub sliding into Ren's DMs, says Stin. What's going on here? Ren, check your DMs. I heard an explanation that made a lot of sense to me once. I heard the effect of alcohol emotionally. It tends to amplify what you are already feeling, so it is important to only drink to celebrate life, not to acquire enjoyment. So you're saying it can amplify your feelings? Yeah, but then for me, like, alcohol is something external that arrives in your system, so it arrives in your experience. And so for you to be like reliant on something beyond yourself, like you have to alter your state of being to get there to that thing that you just described, that's what kind of creeps me out about it. Yeah, I'm really not into it. And my body also doesn't like alcohol. Like, I can't get, or have never gotten, to a point where I won't remember what happened. My body is well on top of telling me not to drink. Like, it is difficult to drink alcohol. Where I've tried in the past, it's like, geez, it's just horrible. You have to try and force it down. Your body's like, nope, stop, no, don't do that. That's wrong. Nope, you're gonna spit this back out. Chosen BC says, I personally just like to sit and relax at the end of a long day with sipping a little bit of whiskey. Usually this is by myself, but sometimes it's with friends, but usually not very often in general. I mean, it sounds like you're using it to like take the edge off a little, right? You know, and relax. And I think everyone can want to relax. You know what relaxes me? Because for all the things that I've said, relaxing is a motivation for wanting to, you know, that seems pretty like fair to me. But I tell you what really relaxes me, like doing yoga and being very present in your own body. Because I started doing yoga again, my shoulders getting to a point where I can do it. I've done like 3 out of the last 4 days, and tomorrow when I wake up, it'll be the first thing I do. I love it, man. I love a good stretch and like being present in your body and just feeling your body respond and relax. And oh, it's that does it for me. That puts me in a good mood. But like, probably not what you expected, right? Do yoga. We're talking about drinking. Jeez. Sin says, I entirely agree. Morning yoga has been relaxing. Very relaxing. At any time of the day. But for me, it's best in the beginning of the day because it sets the tone for the day. And like, you're going to be in your body for the rest of the day, right? Like, it's a good way to start, I feel. I've done yoga at the end of the days, and it's like you feel the benefits of it for less time because you go to sleep. The benefits of yoga, I'd say, stick around for like 8 hours. I think after 8 hours, your body starts to feel a bit clumpy again or whatever. Low-End Zan says, I'm 15 and most of my friends tried or even drank alcohol a lot. I never tried it. Good for you, man. Like, if there's one thing I can encourage to like a young person being around social pressures and whatnot, it is one of the hardest times to stick by your own guns and be you. There's so much built-in social pressure. And when I say social pressure, I'm not talking about like someone poking you in the side saying do this. Your own natural emotional inclination at that age is to be a part of a group, be accepted, and find social connections. And that can so easily lead you into doing stuff like alcohol, which is why people at that age do end up drinking and experimenting with drinking. And you know, like, must be so difficult for young people to resist that. Like, but you know, I commend you if you're able to do it, because it's a tough pressure right there, you know. Intergalactic says, yeah, I'm worried about going into uni September because it can be quite a strong alcohol culture there, but I'm sure I'll find a like-minded crowd. Yeah, I mean, if you stay away from the parties and stuff, and yeah, you'll probably encounter other people who aren't doing that, although, I don't know, I didn't go to uni, so, but I kind of know what it's like. Talking about mental health, I've listened to a book about neuroscience, says Pushing Gamer. That sounds like my avenue of listening right there. I love listening to the old neuroscience. I'm fascinated in like neuroscience. I like listening to stuff about. This is probably going to sound strange, but like I think it's brilliant. But the neuroscience of things like belief and the neuroscience of morality as well have been two interesting topics I've been hearing about. One thing I thought was absolutely amazing is belief, right? The difference of belief between I believe in God and I believe 1 + 1 = 2. In the brain, it's firing up the same Okay, no, I'm butchering this because I'm not a neuroscientist, but like the same mechanisms in the brain fire for belief, regardless of it being believing in God or believing in 1 + 1 = 2. And that to me is really fascinating. Like, to think of all the things that you believe in and that you may think they have incredibly different emotional degrees or meaning, and yet they're firing up the same parts of the brain. And it's like, whoa, you know, like, what does that mean? It's fascinating. Because I look at the world like, to me, it's always been my thing. I remember like a long time ago trying to explain my crazy thoughts to people and just not being able to find people that thought the same way. But I used to use this analogy of like, because this is going to sound strange, but I like believe that everything is like that life itself is just like some sort of ongoing event that is in some way like predetermined or predestined. It's just unfolding and you're experiencing it unfold. And I used to kind of make this argument that I should get some slabs going on over here as well. I make this sort of argument that, like, imagine that you had godlike understanding of science, the world, the universe, the laws of nature, and that you could pause time, right? Time is now just paused and you can look at everything. Now, if we try and think of everything at once, our brains are going to get a little bit bogged down by the sheer magnitude of that scope. But like, imagine that you're just looking at like one little incident. Let's say it's like a person walking along the street. They're about to put their foot down on a banana peel and slip over and bang into someone else or whatever. But imagine you've shrunk it down to a small thing. And because time is paused and you have this understanding of all the laws of nature and physics, you can look at the situation, you can see this particle is next to that one, those are going to react this way, and then this is what's going to happen next. Then you might be able to go, okay, well, yeah, maybe you can then figure it out, right? But that goes against a lot of people's gut instinct. And then you might start to think, well, hang on a minute, like, but I have free will and I can make decisions. So what if I choose to not step on this banana peel and move the other way, and then I don't bump into that other person, right? And their life has changed. But the thing is, the brain is the same as everything else, right? It exists in the same laws of physics of our universe, and therefore the reality that we experience is happening in the same place. So like, even when you choose to make a decision, it's part of that equation. It's part of this constant unraveling of events that are in theory predictable if we can understand enough of the variables. And so they've done little experiments with measuring when people know when they are going to do or think the thing that they're going to do. So I can't remember the exact scenario of these experiments. This is stuff that I found on like years later, because the story that I was telling you there, like years and years ago, I used to think like that. Just when I was a teenager, I just had this like gut feeling that that like free will's an illusion, I guess. I wouldn't have expressed it like that back then, but that's how I express it now. And so where was I going with this? Oh, I have kind of like lost myself a little bit there. Looking in chat, some people agree, some people disagree. Someone's pointed out or said that even in science there are variables we can't account for. I'm not really sure where that kind of discussion goes, because on a quantum level there's supposedly an element of randomness, but I kind of get the impression from listening to some of the more advanced sciencey material available, but that's kind of like an oversimplification that happens to explain what's going on. It's more about probability than it is randomness, and it's like trying to understand what's happening. at that level. Anyway, so I used to think like that, and then I started to learn about this, and I was going to tell you about experiments. So they do some tests. I'm not sure quite what these tests are, but the idea is that they're going to get someone to make a decision. Are you going to pick red or are you going to pick yellow? And before they know themselves and express that they're going to pick this one or that one, they can pick up the activity in the brain of making the decision something like half a second before the person themselves is aware of it, and that is incredible. I think of it like, you know, if there is just a world of like chemical reactions following laws of physics, there'll be like a chain of events, predictable one to the next, that could just be your experience of making a decision. You know, crazy. Jack Greed says, I've studied physics. There is things that we can determine yet, but I think we're pretty sure follow unknown rules. Yeah, unknown, but to be discovered, right? They're always rules. The idea of chaos is like pretty unsettling as a foundation, right? The Cactus Monkey says, I agree and disagree, but I like your thinking. You're more than welcome to disagree with me. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm just telling you about the stuff that I'm interested in and what I've heard and what I think about. We got noises in the ear from N10277, resubscribed 4 months in a row, saying Hermitcraft for Hermitcraft. As you probably didn't hear earlier in the stream, asking for people to join Hermitcraft is pretty much the worst way to go about. Like, you know, go to the second channel and go back by like half an hour to an hour. I waffled on it about it a fair bit. Like, had a little bit of an incident on Twitter with someone pestering to get someone to join the server, and it's the worst way to get introduced. You know, it just sets a bad tone. You've got to imagine yourself if you were running a group and people kept pestering you about something. It's like, doesn't set the right kind of tone. Is essentially what we were talking about earlier. I think I made too many of these buttons. What else were we going to put in these areas, right? Chests, I think, was a really good suggestion. I think it's time for those suggestions again. Iluve Cat says there's a law in physics called the uncertainty law, something like that, that says we can never know everything about a situation, basically. So yeah, chaos is a thing. I'm not sure if I heard about that or not, Cats. I've been listening to so much sciencey stuff, and I'm not sure if that was one of them. Because I was listening to this one explaining how the idea of randomness in the quantum thing is sort of like an incorrect, well, not incorrect, but like it's a simplified and dumbed down explanation of what's actually going on, which revolves far more around probability than randomness, right? Because I guess, I don't know, what is the definition of random? Is it like actual pure random with no influence, or can random have influence? Don't know. We're being raided over here. Goodness me, Zul'jin, my man, raiding us with a party of 109. Thank you ever so much, Zul'jin, for the raid. Welcome to the stream, raiders. We're having a deep stream waffle about free will and how I don't believe in it. So many of you now think I'm mental and crazy. What were we going to make? Geez, chests. Best one for chests at the moment is birch, because I've got such a stockpile of it. Right, and then chest is down there. Cool. Let me show you what we've worked on today in today's stream. We should put some beds in here as well. I'm going to get one, because when I work on my episode, it will remind me when I look over here and I see a lone little bed. I'm actually going to tuck you into that corner. Oh, we can even stack it up so it's like a bunk bed. Awesome. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for the raid again. We also got noises in the ear from Makaoli, probably butchering your name. Thank you for the prime. And cheers and bits from Redheaded Stepchild 19999 saying cheer. Thank you ever so much for your cheers and your bits. I appreciate it ever so much. And I hope that you enjoyed today's stream. So a couple of chests. Ooh, we got some logs that need a stripping. A couple of chests over here. I feel like I'm going to put crafting benches. Oh, I'm going to have to think this through. Put a chest there. I have to think this through, aren't I, when I make my video later on. Yeah, I won't place them all down right now, but we'll put in a few. It certainly works. I like the idea of them being sort of in those little tucked away places as well. Kind of like secret little stashes. Awesome. Oh, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. But I'll put one to the side of it. Right. I'm going to have a little fly around and bring you up to date on what we've done on this stream, since we got some raiders coming in. I hope Zul'jin's watching as well. You will love this Zul'jin, my man, if you haven't seen any of Season 6. Whew! What is going on? So many things to see. We got to go check out Scar's build first of all. Okay. Zwet Chegg says, is it liberating to not believe in free will? Because I do believe in free will and sometimes think maybe I wouldn't overthink it and stress everything if I didn't. We'll come back to that because that's a fascinating question. Fascinating question, and short answer for you personally, I do actually find it liberating to think that way, because I feel like the truth will set you free, you know, because if it is true, it doesn't therefore have to be, I don't know, kind of awful in any way. Look at this area. Absolutely gorgeous. Chunks load irritatingly, you know, annoyingly odd when you're flying. You have to land to get them to load properly. See, now it all loads. Jeez. Blue Artistic says, I love how detailed the server is. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So that's Zombie Cleo's pirate ship over there. And this is Scar's pirate area, which has just got some incredible custom landscape. So we're working on this rock over here, which is got a shanty town built around it, and it's next to our pirate project where the pirates have a castle for some reason. And that is... the world's not loading. So where else did we work? Let's... I guess we're right next to the other one, right? Concorp Studios. The half-wit stag says, but if you think about it, the truth isn't always the best thing. No, I think the idea of like white lies and protecting people from the truth or whatever, I think that can be a little overrated, that concept. Yeah, so we did this down here in the Concorp earlier. We kind of figured out our power line, and we added some like trapdoors that pop up when a minecart comes by on the HRN network. That's the HRN station right there. Let's get out of this place, Jace, before I get my butt kicked. Right, up in the air we go. We need to eat. Pack says, you have to think though, you have the free will not to believe in free will. Or do you not have the free will to think you have free will? You know? Anyway, I just find, like, even though you can be aware that you might not have free will, the experience of that isn't like, I don't have free will, I'm not in charge. It's like, it's becoming aware that this is an illusion. And to me, that kind of gives you some sort of liberation that you have, even in a weird way, more options and control than you might think, and that's kind of hard to express, but like, you understand that it's an illusion, therefore you can embrace the illusion, perhaps is the way to describe it. We worked on this area over here. This bit's kind of boring, peeps. Oh my god, please get in the sky and fly again. Ugh, jeez. Yeah, we just worked on the path going all the way around here, basically. I think we'll get back to the area over there now. So, I'm looking at chat, lots of debate about this and that. Humbly B says nihilism is beautiful. Isn't nihilism like... No, I think... Wait, what is nihilism again? Goodness me. Not believing in anything? If I'm not mistaken. There are a lot of big messages coming in now. I understand the fact that things are predetermined, but I don't like when people use it as an excuse for nihilism. So, I think nihilism is like nothing matters, don't care, is what people think of it sometimes, right? I think there was this thing that Kurtzgegard did a video on called optimistic nihilism. I'll probably identify with that more. Even if you think things are predictable or free will is an illusion, it's still an opportunity to understand that it is that and then make the most of it. That's kind of the way I look at it. Oh man, what if we have like the entrance here and it takes you inside this cave? Like we could put pirate treasure right in the middle of the shanty town. We can make a secret entrance or just like an open cave. Could be pretty cool, right? Will Evil X make a return, says Card Musician. Probably not for some time. Probably not. Nihilism is either that there are no morals or that nothing exists. See, I believe in morality as a evolutionary function, and that it is good for all of us to cooperate, coexist, and learn to get along with one another and do what's best to minimise each other's pain. Berry Crunch 97 is here, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Berry Crunch, thank you ever so much for your Amazon Prime subscription, and I appreciate your support. And guess what, peeps? This is where we're going to be wrapping that stream up today. I just feel like I've exhausted my creative energy for the day, waffling on about free will and stuff like that. So I hope you have all enjoyed it. Be sure to hit the follow button before you go, and if you want to stick around, we will be doing a riggedy raid on none other than Mr. XB Crafted, who's playing on the Hermitcraft modded server, Hermits Reloaded. So I'll send you over there. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you coming by. It'll be uploaded to the second channel, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.